In the early stages of this Skyblock map, it looked like spawners weren't going to be useful at all. Well, today, I think we might be changing that narrative and we will finally be building one of the most effective spawners here in Minecraft Skyblock. Yes, hello everybody and welcome back into a brand new episode of Minecraft Skyblock. Today, of course, we are back here on the best, #1 rated, most insane Skyblock server, AkumaMC. Back again for another episode in this brand new season, guys. You have been just absolutely blowing me away with all the support recently. I genuinely cannot thank you enough for all of the love and support that you guys have been showing on the previous episodes. Shout out to all of you. I read every single comment, so thank you for all your kind words. I really do mean it. And slowly but surely, we are bringing it back and we are pulling back the subscribed to non-subscribed watchers, okay? We are now, over the past like 5 Skyblock episodes or so, dipping over the 70% not subscribed, which is a lot better than 80%, but it could still be a lot better. So if you haven't already, please take 1 second out of your day to go and click the subscribe button because it's a tiny little action from you guys, but it means the world, okay? So make sure you do go ahead and click that subscribe button. And let's jump into this episode today because we've actually got a very productive and potentially extremely important episode today. And the reason for that is because we previously thought that spawners were not going to be effective. I mean, this week they did actually get a buff of like 2 times the sell price. So now if you actually take a look in the shop, all the mob drops that were in here previously now sell for twice the amount that they did before. So things like prismarine shards, which come from guardians, sugar, nether stars, etc. This all sells for more, and these are all automated forms of income. So essentially what I want to do today is make sure that we are going to be making the absolute most out of what we can have on our island, because there is essentially a very strict spawner limit. Now, we don't have it maxed out right yet because we still have a bunch of stat points that we need to get before we can do that, but we do have a spawner limit of 3,200 right now, which we are not even using to the maximum capacity. So with that all being said, I believe we actually have a whole bunch of spawners that we are yet to place, which just seems like a completely massive waste, but I'm kind of glad that we haven't placed them because I'm about to move all this and turn it into you know, an actually efficient spawner. So I've got to figure out where on the island I actually want this, and I think what I'm going to do is probably keep it around this area. Because we have our blaze grinder right here, it makes the most sense that it's kind of in the area that our blaze grinder is in, and that is simply because if there's someone sat here grinding these blazes, going ham on these blazes, then why wouldn't we just have something right here that is going to get AFK'd by that? So this is kind of in the right place for that, but I do just want to make it a little bit better. Like I want to have it actually like effectively in a chunk, and I think it'll probably go well in this chunk right here that is sat right here. So it's not too far away from what we were already doing, but it will kind of make sense. And what we'll do actually is we'll expand this platform out, I think, into this chunk and just make sure this whole chunk is covered at least. Now, in regards to the actual design that we're going to use for the spawners today, there's not much here that's going to be crazy different to what is already placed down. The thing that I want to make sure that we're doing is, first of all, maxing out the amount of spawners that we have. There is no point us having spawners sat in chests right now. There's literally no point. And the second part of it is I want to make sure they're spread out across the chunk so that they are in fact all getting AFK'd properly and they're not like interfering with each other's spawn rates, because that is a thing. If you place spawners too close to each other, then they start to like, I don't know, not spawn because there's a block in the way, essentially. So we need to make sure that we, you know, get rid of that problem and make sure they're not crowded. Now, the other thing that I need to do is I actually need to take one of these chunk hoppers right here, which you guys can see we've got, and I need to just place them in the chunk next to it because it's not going to be collecting anything right there. So I'm literally just going to move that to there, and that literally solves that problem instantly, because I don't know if these are also capturing anything else. I don't know what else would be in this chunk, actually, now that I think about it. So we could probably get away with moving both of these, I'm going to guess. So let's pick this up and put that one there as well. That solves the whole problem. Everything's going to go into our IS bank because the auto sell chests that are there that these hoppers are going into is all kind of balanced to go in that way. So this chunk is now full in regards to having a floor on it, which is perfect. What I want to do now is make sure that the spawners are spread evenly across this area to make sure that we are using them as efficient as possible. Now, the way that I'm going to do this is I want to make sure they're always going to spawn or die in this chunk. So I'm actually going to come in a whole bunch of blocks from the side just so that if they die and like, I don't know, if they're falling to an angle, it means they don't like fall out of the chunk, right? Because that would kind of be a nightmare and we don't really want that. So what we're going to do is we're going to make sure there's 2 blocks down from the top. Then we're going to go 1, 2, 3, and we're actually going to then place the next one right there. Because that should then mean 1, 2, 3, place the next one right here. That should then mean that we can fit that amount of spawners in this area and it should all stay nicely within the gap that we have just made. Now, I think technically, no, I think that is right. Yeah, that should be good. Perfect. Now, we're going to make a couple of these pillars here to place these spawners on. Like I said, we kind of want them spread out as much as we possibly can. So we'll try and limit the amount of stacks on each one because I genuinely do not want to mess up this spawn rate here. We want to make this as efficiently as possible because we only have X amount of spawners to deal with. We've just got to make sure that we're making the most of what we have. So talking about making the most of what we have, that obviously means that we want to kind of look to sell all of the spawners that aren't top tier. So all of the spawners that aren't Guardian or whatever's maybe 1 tier or 2 tiers below that, we honestly kind of want to sell if we've got enough of the other spawners to make up for the spawner limit. We obviously don't want to cut ourselves short of the spawn limit. It's just kind of, it obviously makes sense. Use the best spawners within your spawner limit. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to make sure we place the best ones first today. So I'm going to gather all those up in just a moment. Now you might be wondering, how are the spawners going to die? Like, they're not dropping into anything. There's no lava killing them. There's nothing crazy happening here. Well, that's where, if you don't already know, I'm about to teach you. There are scrolls on this server, okay? And you're essentially going to need a fire scroll for every one of these tier of spawners. What will happen is you guys will see it's falling, it's burning. Before it even gets to the ground or anything, they're going to die from fire damage. And essentially the loot will be captured by these auto sell chests. Now, one thing I have just realized is that because I removed those from that chunk, there is now a whole bunch of freaking loot down here. Yeah, that is, that's not ideal really, is it? Let's just go ahead. Let's go ahead down here and just sell a bunch of this loot real quick. Right, let's pull up these spawners then, just so that we're not wasting all this loot as it's falling down. These are obviously going to pump out the scrolls and stuff that they have. So we'll just make sure that we've got enough space to be getting all of this real quick before I end up dumping it everywhere. Now, obviously, the other thing to consider is we obviously want the best scrolls in the best spawners. That's another thing that should be a given, but sometimes gets missed, especially if you're placing spawners after the fact of adding the scrolls. You wouldn't necessarily go around in them to like replace the scrolls. So let me just gather everything that we've got. I'm going to chuck it in this chest right here, and then we can work all of that out. Okay, so right here is the divide of all the different spawners, which I just like picked up from the other side of this blaze spawner right here. So this is exactly what we're working with from what we already have placed down, which is roughly 2,000 spawners. We don't have that many guardians. In fact, we don't even have enough technically for like a full stack of spawners, because you can stack up to 128, which is 2 regular stacks. We only have 22 witches in here. We've got just over a stack of silverfish. We've got a couple of stacks of villager there. We've got a good few stacks of spider, and then we got the most of iron golem. So these go from, this is the top downwards, and then downwards up to IG being the worst one that we could possibly have. So I definitely do not think that these scrolls were in them in the right order. That's definitely a possibility. So one thing I want to do now is just take a look through all the chests and all the loot that we've got sat over here, just to like recuperate all the different spawners that we technically didn't have placed that could still go in that grinder. So we've got nearly 2 stacks of villager spawners that weren't placed. We've got no guardian spawners that weren't placed. We've got a couple of witch. We've got a couple of silverfish here. We've got a bunch of iron golem in there as well. And a bunch of spider. So with that being said, there is actually quite a few there that weren't already placed. Now what I want to do is just go through all my skills and make sure that I don't have like any unclaimed levels that could potentially give us like that kind of value as spawner. So for example, right there, villager spawners I've just got sat there. So we may as well go ahead and save those and add those. I don't think I've really progressed any other skill since then, so there shouldn't be anything other things that we need to claim right here. No, we should be good there. So now it's just going to come down to placing the best scrolls with the best spawners, because we want to make sure that obviously the higher tier loot has the better scrolls so that we're making the most out of those spawners that are placed. So let's go ahead and get these guardian spawners placed down. We'll make sure that we have a fire scroll right here. We're not going to need more than one of each of these. We're going to have a top tier loot scroll and a top tier scroll of magic. So the scroll of magic basically gives you more mobs spawning at once from the spawner. Loot scroll gives you better loot when the mob dies, and then the fire scroll is obviously the one that kills it. So we're going to put this one as the closest to the blaze, I think. So just so that like if people are grinding the blaze, like I said earlier, it does actually grind these as well. So let's go ahead and put all of those scrolls in there. And we'll do this just going down the list of the spawners, because honestly, we need to make sure that we're making the most out of this. So we'll take 2 of those. We'll take these ones, 2 of those, and we'll take 2 of those for the next tier of spawners, which are going to be witch and then silverfish. Next up is going to be villager. Now we are going to run out of things that we can, or these scrolls that we can use at max level, but that's okay. I've got some gems left over. So we're actually going to upgrade these to level 5 right now using the /scrolls command. We're going to go ahead and upgrade, boom, we'll just upgrade all of these to level 5. We might as well, because to be honest with you, we are going to need it. So we'll get all of that done, take that out, and then the next one. There we go. So that will now have enough to satisfy the amount of villager spawners that we've got. We actually just got a silverfish spawner as a reward just then for completing a challenge. So we'll take that. Yeah, these villager spawners can get placed right here. Next, we're on to these spiders. So although, like I said earlier, we are going to want the higher tiers of all of these, like spawners right here. We may as well place what we do have, not what we don't. So we'll get all of this placed down. And we'll sort out the scrolls and stuff in here in just a second for this, because I will put scrolls in them. We may as well buy the looting scrolls now that we have the gems to do it. That does make the most sense to me, at least. Because if we go into the gem shop, I believe we can just buy straight on. Never mind, we can't do it anymore. That's okay. We'll go ahead and we will. I think we have enough fire scrolls, at least, to do all of these spawners. So let's just make sure that we don't have to buy any more of those. But we do need to buy more. So what do we need? We need level 5 of magic and loot for 1, 2, 3 more stacks at least. And then what we'll do is we'll just make sure that we rotate these around. Obviously, if we get better tier spawners than Spider and they need the looting scrolls, then we'll put them in there kind of thing. Because otherwise it's going to become an issue and we will not have what we need. So let's just go ahead. I'm going to make a little note here that these are all maxed, because then we can make sure that we consider that when we're adding better spawners. Go ahead and add one on all of these that we've done them for. Oh my goodness, I cannot talk and type. Scrolls done. We'll go ahead and put that on every single one of these that we do have the scrolls done on. Just so that we know, because then we can kind of figure it out like that, and we can take one little glance at it. We'll know which ones have maximum scrolls and which ones don't. I think I'm going to leave off for now adding like the max scrolls to the IG spawners, just because, like, I don't know, it's something which we are going to work out, and eventually we'll be able to go ahead and add them. But for right now, it doesn't really make any sense because we can invest the gems in other ways. So we are now done. We are kind of maxed out here. This is kind of what the spawn is going to look like. We've got everything placed as much as we can. The one thing I have just noticed, I've just come over to these cell chests that we've got here. These things are filling up like crazy. Now, I don't know if there's ways for us to upgrade these cell chests, because it looks like we are going to need to, if I'm being completely honest with you. So this might be something that we need to focus on very, very soon here, because if these things start overflowing, then we are going to be leaving a lot of loot unsold, and we really could do without that happening, to be honest with you. So yeah, I don't want that to happen. We'll have to see how it goes, but we'll have to figure that out when the time comes. I don't know. I know that my island did have one that was upgraded or better than 40 seconds. I don't know where it's at. I don't know what it's doing. So maybe I'll have to figure that one out. I'd imagine it's probably on one of these cactuses. Yeah, I don't know what it's doing, to be honest with you. But let's go ahead and announce a giveaway, shall we, for you guys? So the timer has just ticked over for there to be 3 days left of the current bundle in the store, which means there will be a brand new one in 3 days, which is when these giveaways end. You got 3 days in between each giveaway ending, or not each giveaway ending. That's not what I mean. Each giveaway lasts 3 days. So you basically, when this winner comes out for this video's giveaway, it will be a brand new bundle in the store. So what I'm going to do to celebrate that is I'm going to give away one of these 3 times bundles. It will be a brand new one. It won't be this miracle bundle that's currently in the store. It'll be a brand new one. All you guys need to do to be in with a chance of winning that is like this video, subscribe to the channel. That's like the most important part. Make sure you subscribe, comment your username, and then join the giveaways only Discord link down below and press the enter button on the respective giveaway. As long as you've done all of that, you are officially entered, okay, into winning those incredible prizes. So that is all you guys need to do. So please make sure you do enter, because those are some insane prizes and those bundles are going to be super, super good. So good luck to everybody. And yeah, aha, I'm seeing it right here. Upgraded auto cell chest, cell interval 10 seconds. This is exactly what we need. We haven't placed this one down yet. So this is the first time that our island is actually going to have had one of these upgraded cell chests. So let's go ahead and place it, shall we? And get it going. So that is going to spill a whole bunch of items on my island, but that's okay, because we've now got a 10-second interval one going crazy. This thing should actually make a big, big difference, and it shouldn't theoretically ever now get full. Now, I don't know how you upgrade these cell chests. I guess it's maybe just like the rarity of it. I really don't know. But either way, that is going to be a really, really beneficial thing for us now, and that should no longer overflow, so we don't have to worry about that. So now, what are we looking at on our island stats? We should now have placed a lot more than we did. Yes, we're actually very, very near to the spawner limit now. So yeah, you can see the spawners that we've got. The quality of them is not great right now. So what I really want to do, I probably want to sell all of these iron golems, at least like upgrade ourselves to I don't even know at this point, like something better. I don't really know what we're after here, but I mean, all the other spawners, like apart from Guardian, are available to buy in the shop. So for example, which spawners are available to buy? They're expensive as heck. They're 3.8 billion a stack, but they are there. So even if we can just get a little bit of money for our Iron Golem spawners, I think it will help. The actual monetary income from this isn't going to be crazy. Like, I'm hoping over time it does add up and we actually start to get some really good income from this. It would help if these auto sell chests, like, worked how they did last season and you could actually see how much you were making. But you know what? It's not the end of the world. I'm sure that this is doing something good for us. Also, I was told, I'm not entirely sure what this was at the start of the week, and I don't know if this information is accurate, to be honest with you, because I've not seen anything that would suggest this. But apparently, your spawners or whatever that you have placed down count towards island value. Now, I don't know whether this is true because, to be honest with you, looking in here, it doesn't seem that way. So I really couldn't tell you what actually, like, where that actually comes from or if that's even a thing. So I don't know whether we can confirm or deny that in this episode. Maybe somewhere down the line, that's something we can take a look at and I can either confirm or deny it, because I don't think I've ever heard that other than from like 2 people this season. And it was news to me. Right, I've got some legendary keys to open, so let's go to warp crates right now and get those opened. Let's see what we can get out of these rewards. Is it going to be anything good? Honestly, have no idea. We'll take the spider spawners though. Those can be added to the farm. I also might have some V-kits to claim. I don't know if I do or not. We do not, unfortunately. Womp womp. That's no good. Let's take a look though in my battle pass, because is there a new week of... No, there can't be a new week of challenges quite yet. No. Do we have anything close that we could go ahead and actually do today? Mine 10,000 blocks while a mining community goal is active. And it looks like that is actually what is active right now. So I'm wondering if we go ahead and actually do that, is that going to work? Honestly, if I had a mining consumable right now, this would be extremely overpowered and we'd get that challenge done like instantly. But even without it, I've got a feeling this should be a fairly easy challenge. Is this counting is the question. It should be counting. Let's take a look. Where was it? I don't even know where the heck it was. It's right here. Mine 10,000 blocks while a mining community. See, it doesn't seem to have counted any of the blocks that I just mined. Does it mean like on my island, maybe? I don't know. Surely it doesn't mean on my island. Surely that's not what that is about. Because if that is the case, then we are about to have an absolute nightmare. Nope, neither of those counted. So I don't know what the deal is with that. There is a mining community goal active. I'm sure that's what that means. But maybe that one just isn't... Maybe that one isn't working right now. I have no idea. That's okay. We'll leave that one for now. Are there any other ones in maybe previous weeks that we haven't yet completed? Let's have a quick look. I think there's still one in this one that we haven't done yet, which is going to be probably like a freaking chat reaction. Yup. Win 3 chat reactions. We did manage to snipe 1, but other than that, I have not had any luck in the chat reaction department. Oh wait, maybe there is some truth to the whole like spawners placed being valuable, because looking at this says that my current part of it says it's 810k. Like right here, it says it's 810k on a weekly wait, but we haven't put a single value block in. So is that 810k just the spawner value? It honestly might be. It honestly might be. Now that I think about it, it honestly might be. So that could be a thing, because according to that, we've not placed any value blocks this week, which is potentially truthful. I don't think we have, so maybe that is a thing. I don't know. Maybe there is truth behind that. I will confirm that with a staff member at some point, and I'll let you guys know. Cool, so let's take a look at what quests we are currently on. We took a look at these last episode, I believe, and we were just kind of starting into the mining ones. It looks like we have completed a few of these, but to be honest with you, I think they're all just the enchanting ones. Yes, they are. So we still pretty much need to get our mining level up there. That is essentially what we need to do right now. We also need to mine a heck of a butt ton more blocks. It looks like 350,000 is going to cap it out. I have only really been doing grinding, so to be honest with you, the only quests that might have slightly gone through are these, and it looks like it has. The only thing that we now need to do is grind a little bit more mobs on our island, because I think the rest of these are in fact done apart from this one right here. We just need to get our grinding skill to level 70, and then the rest of it is literally just grinding the mobs. So over the next couple of days or so, I will probably be able to complete that. What is the actual reward for completing that, you ask? It's actually going to be some decent spawners, a lot of dragon egg value blocks, which is very nice, a random mythical enchant, robot eggs, ultimate airdrops, all the good stuff actually in there. So that is going to be worth completing. I will put some time into grinding some more mobs. Honestly, that's kind of the only skill I've been working on recently anyway, so it's not really too much of a loss to me to just continue doing that. And I think that is probably going to end up being the first skill we will be be grinding. So it's what I've been putting the most time into. It's the least like effort I feel like required, because you can just like watch a TV show and then grind on the side. So it's potentially what we're going to focus on. We'll have to see. But guys, that is where the progress is at on the island. We are still continuing to kind of monitor what the biggest meta is going to be for actually becoming an island, like an IS top island this season. I need to actually take a look at some of the like top islands to see exactly what they are doing. But I think that we're in the right realm of success right now. Like, we are in the right area to make success. We've just got to go ahead and, like I say, we need to upgrade this. This is our biggest flaw right now. I would think is the not having any spawner system set up that is, I don't know, actually useful. I don't know if that's the right way to put it or not. And I don't know the reality of the income that this is going to make us in comparison to everything else. It's probably not that high, but I guess if you're not having to do anything for it, then it's only alongside what else you're doing. So if we were sat here, for example, grinding blazes, the money that I'm making from that is only like additional like to this. So it doesn't really matter even if it's not a meta or whatever. But even if it's just for weekly island value, like permanent island value, if you're maxed out at your spawner limit and you only have guardians, surely there's a point where you're getting like X amount of island value just guaranteed every week based on that factor. I don't know. That is something to consider. Let me know what you guys are thinking down in the comment section, because I think at some point this season we do need to go for the island top ranking, and I think it might be a week that is, you know, upcoming very close here. But guys, that is going to be where I go ahead and end off this episode. If you have enjoyed it, please make sure you do go ahead and leave a like. And of course, like I asked before, please make sure you subscribed. It literally takes you like 2 seconds, but it helps me out massively. And it's awesome to see you guys as returning viewers here on the channel. It would just be nice if you click that subscribe button, because a lot of you guys do actually return, but you might not be subscribed. So make sure you've done that. Guys, that is going to be it from me today. I'm going to stop yapping. Go ahead and join my Discord if you'd like to. That is where I'm the most active. You can come chat to me, ask me questions about the server, do whatever you like to do. And yeah, hopefully I'll see you guys in there. But that is going to be it from me today. And I'll see you guys all in the next episode of Skyblock here on AkumaMC.